there's this phrase that used to float around gun culture. I don't know if it does anymore as much as it used to, but every time I heard it, it just made my skin crawl, all right? So if you pull the trigger, make sure they don't survive. Let me be clear. That mindset is dangerous, all right? Legally dangerous, morally dangerous, and tactically flawed, all right? Because if you ever have to use a firearm in self-defense, your goal is not to kill, your goal is to stop a threat. There's a massive difference between those two ideas. Big difference. Shoot to kill, stop the threat. Misunderstanding that difference can cost you your freedom and everything you've ever worked for. So today, we're going to kill this myth once and for all. We're not going to stop the threat. We're going to kill that myth.
Everybody ready? Let's do it.
All right, so look, where does this bad advice come from? This idea didn't just come from serious training. It came from movies, old school bravado, internet commandos, and people who have never had to explain their actions in the courtroom. Think about it. Hollywood loves revenge stories. Real life runs on evidence. Some people repeat this phrase because they believe if the attacker dies, they can't testify. Let me give you a quick reality check. When a shooting happens, the investigation does not rely on the attacker's version alone. There's forensic evidence, witnesses, scene reconstruction, your statement, 9/11 calls, camera footage, experts. In other words, you don't get to control the narrative just because someone didn't survive. What you do control are the decisions you make in those critical seconds. Be smart about this, people, all right? This is the phrase I want you kind of burn into your brain, all right? You shoot to stop the threat, not to kill the person. Self-defense law revolves around one central question. Were you facing the imminent threat of death or serious bodily harm? Not, were you angry? Not, did they deserve it? Not, did you want to make sure they never came back? The moment you press the trigger, you're using deadly force. The moment you press the trigger, you are using deadly force. And deadly force is only justified to immediately stop a legal threat, nothing more. The instant the threat stops, you stop. That discipline is what separates self-defense from a criminal act. Remember this, self-defense is about protection. It's not about punishment. It's not about revenge. It's not about emotion. Protection, all right? It's about protection. All right, so listen, deadly force is always the last resort. You should have been taught this. No responsible instructor teaches people to rush toward lethal force. In fact, we spend far more time teaching avoidance, awareness, and de-escalation. All right, the fight you win is the fight you're not in. Because once a bullet leaves the barrel, there are no takebacks. Usually, using deadly force means the situation has reached a point where you had no safer option. You reasonably believe if you don't act right now, I could die. That is unbelievably high threshold, all right? And it should be. Also, understand this. Even when the shooting is justified, your life is going to change after that. Investigations, court proceedings, the emotional aftermath, financial strain. It's not something you win. It's something you survive. Now listen, there have been real cases where individuals defended themselves and the law supported them. There are also cases where someone kept shooting after the threat was clearly over, or fired at a fleeing suspect, or acted out of rage instead of fear. Those cases a lot of times end up in prison sentences. You've heard about it. Want to know why? Because once the threat is no longer immediate, you're no longer defending, you're attacking. And the legal system takes that distinction very seriously. And especially, your judgment in those moments matter more than your shooting ability ever will, all right? We always say the best safety is the one up here. Listen to that, people. So look. Let's step outside of the legal conversation for just a second. Taking a life, even in lawful self-defense, is heavy. It's not something responsible people fantasize about. It's something mature gun owners brag about. The firearm you carry is meant to preserve innocent life, including yours. The goal is to always go home. Always. It's not to prove something, not to win, just to go home. That mindset is going to keep you grounded, all right? It keeps your ego out of the fight, and it keeps your decision making clear if the unthinkable ever happens, all right? So let's just take ego, throw it out the door, run it over, beat it up, kick his tail, whatever. Keep ego out of the whole equation. All right, look. Let me wrap this up. I'm gonna leave you with this. If you ever hear somebody say shoot to kill, understand that you are not listening to serious self-defense advice. You're hearing barroom philosophy. Professionals understand the mission. Stop the threat, protect life, end the danger, and nothing beyond that. All right. Train with that mindset. Think with that mindset. Carry with that mindset. Because the most important weapon you have is not the firearm, it's your judgment. All right. So stay disciplined, stay responsible, and stay prepared. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Hopefully I can talk straight.
You know he can't talk English.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.